Hello there, and welcome back to Sylvia's Essentials Makeup Tips for the Blind. Back here today to do another cooking video. And which is cool about in this video is that I will be making something that's actually a meal, dishes that people prepared during hard times during the Depression. Now, lately, I've been studying about, in times of depression, cooking and different varieties of cooking that they did back at that time, which I found very interesting, very fascinating. And I'm actually going to use it to practice some of those dishes that people prepared back then because they were it was good economy. They were dishes that weren't that difficult. Some are a little more work than others. And just overall in general, it's just pretty cool how they came up and had to create certain dishes that they had to back then just to be able to survive and eat and feed their families or themselves. All the way up until I'll say the mid-19th century, say up to the 70s, 80s, and then 90s it started to peer off to where we are today, where it's a little more modern cooking, where we, I don't want to say go overboard, but we make dishes that are not the same, that are a little more in detail, but you know what, economy wise it's great. And I also wanted to say that I hope that everyone enjoyed my last cooking video with my friend Crystal out there. She really enjoyed being here, sharing, making her delicious tacos. That was a lot of fun, and she would like to come back soon. It might be the end of this weekend, but we'll see if she can make it. All right. So that, yeah, like I said, that was a lot of fun. Definitely going to do that again on my days of summer. So that's what we're doing. All right. So I got my stuff ready here. I'm going to chop an onion, and I got some seasonings here because what we're making, like the title said, we're making old-fashioned potato skins, fried potato skins. And like I said, this is a dish that they used to do during the Depression. It's kind of easy, not too difficult. All right. So let's get to it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop some onion here. I got a clove of garlic here that I'm going to be using. And I got a frying pan here that's got some olive oil at the bottom that I'm going to fry this in. And what I want to mention here, if you don't have one of these are pretty good to have. It's a small little spray bottle. You can get these pretty much anywhere, Walmart, your local grocery store, and it's a little pump bottle, and you can put your oils in this. You can put water in this if you want to for different things. It's like a little saver bottle, I call it, okay, with a pump on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a couple of more squirts so I can demonstrate how this works. If you're low vision, if you can see this out there. If not, I'm going to explain. Like I said, I already got some olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil, by the way. And I'm going to tip this, and I'm going to do 2 more squirts right in the center. Like maybe a few there. because I already got enough in here. And this is to, like I said, we're going to fry my onions and the garlic after they're chopped. And then we're going to put in fry in the potato skins, okay? And this has a switch on it too, where you can just pull up a little bit, flip back, and what does it do? Closes the nozzle, okay? So I'm going to set that there for now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop some onion for this. I already got my onions rounded, but I'm going to chop these with clean hands. Trying to flip this one over here. It's on a plate. I have it on a paper plate, which is fine. Got my fingers pulled back. And I'm slicing these into strips. They don't have to be that thin strips. Just if you can, put these in strips. Now this part here is rounded. I got another loose piece here. I'm going to slice that into a strip. I hope you can hear me okay, because I do have my air on. It's been very, very hot here where I'm at. Okay, this circular piece here, I'm going to cut this in half. Just always be careful with sharp knives. But those of you who have been listening to my channel know the gist of, I always remind about safety using knives in the kitchen, or knives around you in general for different tasks, not just in the kitchen. Always be careful. So what I'm doing is I'm slicing this circular piece of onion into smaller rings, but I did cut this in half just to get this going a lot quicker. So you just want them like rivets of onion. Okay, so, alright, so I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this up the plate, and I'm going to chop now 1 clove of garlic. It's already been peeled with the outer shell off of it. Now see, out of habit, I don't always pull my fingers back because I've been doing this for a long time, okay? But I would still apply pulling your fingers back when you chop. I've just been doing this for a while now, but from experience, after a while, when you get more comfortable with chopping, always be careful, but it just comes like second nature to me now. So I'm just cutting this garlic into slivers as well. They don't have to be too thin, but just enough where they're in slivers. This piece of onion here, slice that, and another piece of onion. So we got all these on the plate. All right. Beautiful. All right. Over here on the other side of my kitchen, I'm going to grab my bowl that has my potato skins in here. Now this is from 3 potatoes. This is from 3 potatoes that I had peeled. And you know, when you deal with potatoes, it's always good to use a scrub brush or luke water. Scrub them thoroughly on all sides. Then you want to pat them with a paper towel and then start peeling them. And just feel when all the skin is off the best of your ability. Okay, let me move my pot holder out of the way. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my oil going. I'm going to turn on my oscillated fan for any smoke, help cut down a little bit of cooking oil. But you can still hear me okay. So we're going to wait for this pan to heat up. I got a spatula here that I'm going to use to stir this stuff up in the pan and to flip them. Now, you don't really need to time doing this. It's really just more or less smell and just a good sense of when they should be flipped over. So I'm not going to use a timer doing this because, like I said, once this heats up, these won't take very long. Just make sure that you have enough oil of your choosing to cover the bottom of your skillet. And like I said, this is where your listening skills is very helpful as well. So I smell the heat, the oil heating up. Hope you're all doing good out there, enjoying your week, your first week of summer. Hope you're getting out, doing activities, and staying hydrated. Okay, I hear the grease or the oil starting to sizzle a little bit. So I'm going to turn this down to medium heat because, well, actually it'll pass more or less on simmer, because once this grease or oil gets hot, we don't want it splattering too bad. One thing about extra virgin olive oil is that it heats up pretty quick, which is good. Alright, so I'm going to now put my onions and garlic in here, and I'm going to do it from the side. Always have it away from you. When you pour in, if you don't want the grease or oil to burn you. And I say grease too, because some people may use lard or a more fatty oil. So I'll say grease or oil, okay? So yeah, I got that going really good. I'm going to stir this with the spatula. I'm going to have to wait for this to cool a little bit. That oil is getting hot. And I'm standing away from it. And I'm going to start stirring this with my spatula. Just want to get that all mixed together. Nice aroma. I love the smell of onions and garlic. And I learned in YouTubing about fruits and vegetables that onions are actually older or been around longer than garlic has been. Never knew that. So we're going to let that fry a little bit, let that caramelize a little bit. It's called caramelizing. when you let your onions and garlic fry a little bit in your oil. Because what it's doing, it's cooking them down. So, but you don't want to cook them down too fast. So that's why I said it's good to have your knob at 6 o'clock, or I would say 7 or 7:30 on your knob, on your stove. Let's say 6 or 7 o'clock. You want to keep them frying as well. And you want this spatula and like try to get under them and flip them, which is not really necessary if you have to flip them, but I just like to make sure they're cooked on all sides. I don't know. And I am going to crack my window a little bit, just so it doesn't get so smoky in here, because even though I got the fan on, I need to air it out in here, just so it doesn't get so smoky in here. Okay, we're back. Alright, so now that started cooking. So what I'm going to do is push these around the edge. And now I'm going to like turn my heat back up again to 3 o'clock. Because when I put these potato skins in, I just want to make sure that grease is good and hot to get them going. So I'm going to wait a minute here while this heats up. It's smelling delicious. Okay, now I'm going to put in my potato skins. Like I said, I had peeled 3 potatoes. And you're going to stir this around in the center. Get them going. And like I said, I did turn my heat back to 3 o'clock on my stove dial. Get these going. So I'm just going to let these cook for a little bit, maybe a minute or a little over a minute. Like I said, this is just to get it going. Hear the sizzling, crackling. That's an indicator to let you know how high your skillet is. I'm gonna let these cook down a little bit more. Potato skins, and then I'm gonna flip them. I still have them on high because the skins, potato skins, actually need a little more heat to cook down. Okay, now I'm gonna flip these. So I'm gonna take my spatula and flip them over. When you try this on your own, just do the best you can. Just dig underneath the skins and just flip them. And now with these flipped over, now I'm going to bring the onions and the garlic that was on the side of the skillet and mix everything together. Because they're cooking on the other side now. So everything's going to come together. Oh yeah, their fillings cooked. The texture that I can feel from my spatula, they're filling cooked. Just spread them out. All right. Oh, it smells good. I actually do love potato skins. I've been eating them for a while now, and they're actually good for you. Potato skins, if you didn't know, they're actually very good for you. So, down nicely, my onions and my garlic, cooking into there nicely. Okay, so these are almost done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the heat back down to 7 o'clock. And then, oh, that was my clock giving the time. And I'm going to get some tin foil, because I don't have a lid to cover this particular pan. And I'm going to cover these with tin foil and just let them simmer. I'm going to set this on top, nice and neat, and I'm going to let these cook down, simmer for another couple of minutes, just to keep the heat in. Okay, but remember, I did turn this down to let them finish cooking on simmer. So what I'm going to have with these, I'm going to have a piece of barbecue chicken. I'm going to nuke it and make a barbecue chicken sandwich between 2 pieces of bread, and have this on the side as a side dish. Now with cooking, frying these potato peels, you can add cheese to these of your choosing. While it's doing the simmering process right now, before you cover them, you could put a slab of cheese on there. You can also, if you have some zucchini squash, slice some squash in round quarters and put this in here as well. It's actually delicious with zucchini as well, if you want to try that. Like I said, just slice them into round quarters, real thin, and just mix them in there before you cover them with the cheese. Or you don't have to have any of that. You can just use the onions, garlic, and this. You know what? I forgot to put my seasonings in. But you know what? It's not too late to put them in. It is not too late. I'm going to put in some of my pink Himalayan salt, a pinch. Sprinkle that around. Like I said, it's not too late. And some pepper. Just shake some of that around in there. There you go. Okay, let me mix it up again. Now, since I had taken cover off, if you can see that out there, it's a consistency now that's softer. You can hear the different sound of the sizzling. That is basically done. But I'm going to keep these covered until my chicken is ready, until my sandwich is prepared. All right, cover this back up. Be careful, still it is hot. All right, there we go. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video frying up old-fashioned potato skins using onions and garlic and a spatula. And so yeah, you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate that. Helps my channel. And also, when you if you have your notifications bell on, you will be notified when I come on my channel, okay? But you have to make sure you have your bell turned on. And then, you know, in our case, when you're visually impaired on YouTube, our phones will let us know when that video is uploaded. So it's the same thing. All right, thank you very much. Happy eating from my kitchen to yours. And God bless.